Hi everyone, my name is Tiffany. Welcome back, or welcome if you've never been here before. Today I'm doing a reading vlog. I'm very excited because I am preparing to go to Maui with my brother. Oh my gosh. And in this vlog, I anticipated that I would be doing last minute packing, running errands, and I'm also going to be traveling to San Diego where he lives. We're going to link up and leave out together. So I needed some recs because I love a theme, and I wanted vacation, destination, pirate, lost at sea, you know, secluded island type of reads. And I got a ton of them on Instagram. So if you submitted a recommendation for that, thank you so much. I took them, I threw them into a spinner wheel, and I'm gonna let that dictate this next, 36 hours of reading. I do already know that I will be reading Gravity by Cate. This beautiful book was given to me by Cheyenne, that tall book girl, here on BookTube and on Instagram. And I'm here for this. This is prime time to read it because it's, I think, set on a secluded island. This is supposed to be a sort of taboo love triangle between father, son, and the heroine. So I'm very interested and intrigued and ready to pick this up. I think as far as the spinner wheel goes, I'm gonna cap that off at 3 so that I can actually finish them because we got a short time frame here, and I am gonna be vlogging my entire trip to Maui as well. So let's get into the spinner wheels so we know what we're reading. Again, thank you if you submitted. Okay, let's do this. So freaking fast. Addicted to Romance. She has a beautiful page on Instagram. We talked about the Pirate Lord, and so I'm having a physical copy coming. So I'm gonna read Enslaved by the Ocean by Bella Jewel. This cover, I took screenshots of all of the covers because I wanted to thank everybody for giving me these recs. And I tried to be a little prepared. This cover looks like a captive situation, and she's just telling me it's dark, so I'm very excited. And I also think this is on, yep, I see the headphones, this is on KU Read and Listen. Great pick. Okay, let's do the next one. Okay, spinning wheel, spinning wheel, spinning wheel. I just love how fast this is. This is crazy. Okay. Okay, this is from Heather from Hey BookTubes. Axel in Heaven by Francesca Penn. Vacation, fake dating, Thor lookalike, and Black MC. Oh my God, I'm so here for this. I don't even think I need to look up anything. That said it all. Thank you so much, Heather. I'm excited. Let's do the third one and final. Okay. Witty Reads. Love Scammed by Rilzy Adams. Perfect vacation read. I'm excited about this list. I'm expecting this one to be a little bit on the shorter side. So, I mean, if I'm compelled to pick up something else, I will. But I'm gonna take her word on this and go in a little bit blind. I'm very excited about the picks. I wanna thank everyone again who gave me a recommendation. I really appreciate it. And let's get into it. I'll see you when I have thoughts. Excuse me, I almost forgot that I have book mail and I can't wait to open it. I'm just gonna open it now. I'm sorry. We're pausing, okay? I opened the top. I haven't seen the book and I don't know who it's from, and I want to feel around for the card first. But I was like, oh my God, wait a minute. I almost forgot. Okay. Hi Tiffany, your videos and recommendations continuously bring me so much joy while watching. I hope this makes you smile. Have a wonderful day. Steph from Novelty Corner. Oh my God, thank you so much. Okay, what is it? You guys are gonna see it before I do. I saw the purple, and then I saw the back. This is Eden by Lily Main. This is a part of her Monstrous series, and Eden is a huge purple monstrous ball of sunshine. I absolutely love him. I have talked extensively about this series on my channel, and this is the first physical copy that I have within the series, so thank you so much, Steph. I really appreciate it. I love it. Sorry, back to regular scheduled programming. I loved this novella. Okay, it is the perfect vacation summer beach read. I won't go too far in because it is on the shorter side, but oh my gosh, this is a blind vacation date romance where we have two shady and loving best friends playing Cupid. Monet is ready for her girls trip, okay? In fact, it's the day of, and her best friend informs her at the last possible minute that she's being set up with Hudson. Tall, dark, handsome, and artistic. And they're both pretty pissed off about it, but I love how they quickly resolve to still take the trip and charge the freaking tab up on their friend's dime. And this is just low angst. There's no drama. There's no external conflicts in their way. I mean, I loved reading the ease and comfort in their connection. It's effortless. So much so that it scares Monet. I just loved how flirty and teasing the banter was, and how we do get some of her internal hangups that really amplify how monumentous a moment this is with Hudson. He is a photographer, and so I like how quite literally he's able to see her and be so affirming for her. It just was, I'm gonna read this quote actually, because I absolutely loved it. And you know, Monet is not at all well versed in being treated right or well. And so to have a man like this show her how she should be treated and see her in this way, I just loved it. Hudson wanted to see every beauty spot, every stretch mark, every bit of cellulite, every single mark that all came together to form perfection lying in front of him. Oh, I mean, sweet, sexy, and seen. That is what this is. I loved this. I love her backstory as well. And this was everything. And they owe their best friends a gift. Next, I'm going to read maybe Enslaved by the Ocean, a little captor-captive action, because it is on KU for read and listen, and I do have packing to get into, so I'm gonna get into that, and I'll be back when I have more thoughts. Captain Hendricks is not playing with Indigo in this book. Oh my gosh. Indigo is our heroine, and she is running from an abusive ex that has recently been let out of jail. And she convinces her best friend Eric to go along with her. And from the jump, I really like the foreshadowing here, or what I'm assuming to be so, because in the beginning of this book, Eric and Indigo differ on how she should handle the severity of this situation. He doesn't think that she should run, yet he agrees to go along with her. And I think that that might play out in this book, at least at the point at which I am reading, because they decide to go on a yacht. They are destined for the UK and are shipwrecked and captured by pirates. And Indigo and Captain Hendricks meet cute is not at all swoony sweet or glamorous, okay? Hendricks is an alpha, and he is adamant about showing her who's boss and who is in control here. I mean, there is a trigger warning for some battery. I mean, there's a quick slap that shocked me. And very quickly, this gets dark. And that was really felt because we get to be shown Indigo's abuse, a glimpse of it. And so it's already felt that the stakes are very high. And so when we see a sort of repeat of this happen with the hero, I was a little shocked, okay? But very quickly afterwards, Indigo starts to see these very subtle and hidden acts of care that are very incongruent with his bark. And I really appreciate that she is determined to be free, and if that means through death, so be it, because that is far better than Hendricks' plans to sell her into sex slavery to pay off his debt. And they enter into some sort of agreement where in exchange for her obedience, I mean, it's a fool's errand to try to escape, but I love her drive. In exchange for her obedience, he will ensure that her best friend, who's shackled below, will live and have a better standard of living in terms of being imprisoned. And I love the sort of heady dynamic that comes with that, because she realizes that she can negotiate with him. And she knows that her agreeableness, I'll say, is what her best friend's life hinges on. And of course she sets out to seduce him. But it starts to become very muddied, their chemistry, I mean, because there's heat. He knows that she just wants to be free and that she's trying to seduce him. And she knows that in many respects, she is only an asset to him, that he needs to keep well fed and for, a good appraisal. Yet, again, these small gestures of care and concern give her a glimpse and make her very interested in the man as opposed to the captain, as opposed to the pirate and the swindler. And so they both know that there are ulterior motives at midst, yet they can't help themselves. And so I'm in the midst of that. Eric's life hangs in the balance in the ship below. And this is as rocky as the freaking sea. I mean, there are storms. There's always something happening on this boat. And it's this back and forth between them, each not wanting to get lost in the other, ensnared, but it's happening anyway. And I'm just interested in seeing how or if at all, because one of my favorite things about captor-captive situation is when the captor becomes ensnared. I want to see how he unravels, because he starts at this freaking peak, okay, of control, and I want to see how this like unfolds. I want to see how she gets caught up in her task to seduce, because it's gonna happen. I mean, it's electric between them. So I'll be back. So I finished Enslaved by the Ocean, and I will say that this is one of those books where, at least for me, there was a shift, and I became very interested in the next story that this author was setting up. There is a side character that really leapt off the page that has a backstory that is akin to Indigo's, and just when I started to feel like our hero's characterization was like kind of flat, in came the backstory. In came the reasons for why he is in debt. In came what had her intrigued in the beginning in terms of just knowing that there was more to him. And so I appreciated that, but that backstory lines up very perfectly with the third act and this side character, and I'm very excited for the next book. Indigo as a heroine did make some decisions that, you know, I did find annoying, but overall, I enjoyed their chemistry. I did enjoy the dynamic between them in that it was this alluring and what turned into an insatiable need between them. And it was something that they both couldn't explain. I really enjoyed that element, and the fact that, again, she's held captive, yet is wondering if this situation actually is her freedom in light of all of the external conflicts that are going on. So I liked that dilemma. The third act did feel predictable. There were some twists and reveals that like I clocked, but I found this to be enjoyable. Like this was like, it's funny to say like easy breezy, it's not low angst, and despite all of its heavy themes and violence on the page, it didn't feel like dark. I was just so like caught up in what was going on with them. But I did appreciate that setting, because we are like, this felt like a pirate romance. So I had like some issues with it, but overall I found it to be enjoyable. So I'm gonna rate this a 3.5. Couple things fell flat, but I think that this would have benefited from being longer, and I'm very excited about the next book because I think she's getting her sea legs. I had to say it, I wanted to say it so bad, but I feel like she's catching her stride in this book and the way that she's setting up for that one. So I'm very excited that I picked this up. I need to get to the airport actually, and so the next book, sorry, I'm gonna put this away. I'm trying to multitask and film. Very unprofessional of me. But the next book I will be picking up, I'm taking this and I will be reading this in Hawaii. Spoiler alert, that again, the magic is happening. But I am gonna start Gravity by Sara Cate. So I only have about like an hour flight, but I'm gonna get there really early, so I should be able to crank some of this out and have a good update for you when I get to San Diego. I'll see you in the next clip. these characters are anchored and bound by grief. The heroine lost her twin sister in a plane crash, and her sister was on board with her boyfriend, who just so happens to be the brother of Nash and the son of Alistair, who is the father and son in this love triangle. And I need for Sara, our heroine, to end up with Alistair the father, okay? Because I am not at all enjoying Nash as endgame for her. And I'm going to tell you why. And I'm also going to preface this by saying that I'm thoroughly invested here, okay? My sentiments about Nash doesn't mean I'm not enjoying this book, okay? I just have theories, and I'm going to break them down. Nash is casually callous. He is drowning in grief, in liquor, in anger. There is some sort of secret that is serving as a wedge between him and his father. There's a sense of betrayal just rolling off of Nash, resentment. And he's wealthy enough, financially stable enough to make his depression a whole ass music video where everyone in his orbit are mere props, which includes Sara, where he believes that he's entitled to her body, that he believes he's entitled to use her at his whim. And it's not at all sexy because of the character that she is when she is with him. How Zara's words hold no weight when she's with Nash. She has no backbone. How he whittles her down with his words and fucks with her mind with his fuckboy behavior. And every single time she caves to her flesh, it makes me cringe. Even though that cringe is underscored by understanding. Like, I get it. Like, she was harboring such a huge crush for the man that he used to be. And now that his brother has been killed, now that she has lost her other half and that part of herself is now dead, I understand why she wants to lean into his touch, how they are bound by trauma and survivor's guilt. But that doesn't mean that I have to enjoy how she unravels in the most destructive way and allows herself to be used. And I think I'm supposed to feel this way. I'm supposed to root for her to fight for herself. And in part, I think that is reading her engage in this very twisted and thrilling dynamic with Nash. But I hope it leads to her realization that she belongs with Alistair, okay? Because, from the very beginning, Alistair comes back into her life and he offers her the proposition of plucking her from where she's at and replanting her on their family island so that she can date and help his son get back to himself in exchange for a once-in-a-lifetime payout. And Alistair is powerful. He's self-actualized. He's experienced. He is in control of every aspect of his life. And also, this puppeteering is an extension of that. And I love his sense of control. It's really evident in when he first sees her again in the strip club. And that's really placed in parallel to when Nash visits her after so much time in the strip club. It's very counter scene that shows the difference between them as heroes. And I thoroughly enjoyed that. And more so, I like the character that she is with Alistair, because when he gives her this offer, she's able to ask questions, rebuttal, demand certain things, put her foot down as to what she's not going to accept. there's some push and pull. I also like the conversations that they have. It almost feels like they're seeking in a way, and it feels like it's going to be a slow and reluctant burn between them. And I'm just all the more fascinated by Alistair as a hero. It's very sexy for him to be in control. It's very sexy for him to be self-actualized and to be able to see in this way. There's a reason why he picked her for his son, and I can't wait to see the reveal on that. Really, because Nash has an affinity for her. And so if that's going to be the spark, then he's willing to do whatever it takes to get him back on track. But I suspect it's something else. The way that he controls his gaze around her, the way that he observes them together, there's jealousy in the mist, and she can feel it too. He's that type of man that just, he drips off the page, broody, grieving as well, but it manifests different. So I want to see her with Alistair. Like I said, every single time she's with Nash, I cringe and I crave the scenes that she's with him. And him, I mean him, Alistair, Zaddy. So we will see where this goes. But I'm enjoying myself. It is very tricky. I'll be back. So I'm not that much further along, but I just want to note that difference between Alistair and Nash again, okay? Because he's getting more points on the leaderboard for me. Alistair does everything in a meaningful and measured way. And so when he is pushing her boundaries that stem from trauma, he has a plan. And it isn't solely for his gain. It's so that it can better her. And I just love that about him. There is a great steamy moment that I absolutely loved, that I think is exemplar of that. And again, I just am giddy every time they're together. I will say, sorry about the helicopter. I will say though, one thing that I'm noticing in this book that I loved about Burn for me is that she writes these heroines that have to be at the sight of the hero's anger, at the sight of the ugliness of the shadow work that needs to be done. They need to be the target of that in order to soothe their own guilt, in order to heal themselves. It's that like tenuous vitriol between them, and I'm seeing that here, and that's one thing I loved about Burn for me. It's that need to be punished, and so I'm really hoping that like the maelstrom of that runs its course so that she can be ready to stand up for herself and in her own truth and get Nash out of the damn way, okay? I just want her and Alistair together. I feel like they belong with each other. I feel like Nash is being used as a vehicle to bring them together, and I think that Nash recognizes that as well. Or at least that's my hope, okay? Because this is getting messy. I'll be back. I just had to like get that thought out while we're out and about and before it gets too late. I will be back. I will stop. I will wrap up my thoughts in the next clip, but I am thoroughly enjoying this. It is very taboo. It is very messy. It's very heady. Familial dysfunction. I'll be back. So this truly does escalate to a taboo degree, and I do not use the word taboo lightly. I'll just say that in an odd way, she ends up being a unicorn for their father-son relationship. And I'm using that vernacular as a hint. But and I'm not going to reveal what this is, I'm just speaking broadly about it. When the reveal in the third act comes out, I was in part gutted for her, but also like mad at Nash for his petulance. Like, I understand why he was upset about that and felt like he didn't know who his father was, but in the midst of all of their grief, and yet I guess in the midst of their grief means that that secret is all the more shattering. So, I mean, I was shocked and I was not expecting that at all. And I will say that I'm going to rate this a 4, only because Nash was very difficult for me. And I know he was supposed to be, but reading his journey was good, but it wasn't always enjoyable. So just for that reason, this is a 4. I am ready for the next book in the series, and I'm so happy that Cheyenne bought me this. Truly, like, this gave me the heady dynamics that I like to glean. It was fascinating. Okay. I also started Axel in Heaven. This has all of the vacation vibes. It starts right on time. It's laugh out loud funny and swoony, and the fake dating starts us off where we have Heaven. She is on vacation with her best friends who are a freaking riot, might I add. And one of them fails to inform her that they booked this trip knowing that her ex will be there with his fiance, the same woman that he left her for. And I guess like the wedding discount that her friend booked under was just too good to pass up. So now Heaven is there and upset that it looks like she just followed them. And I mean, she's on the beach in freaking paradise, and the cloud comes rolling in as she sees her ex and his fiance, her freaking nemesis, approaching her. So she runs to the water and approaches this Norse and Thor-like god and tells him that she needs a boyfriend stat. And he takes on the role very eagerly and very well. And I love Axel. He's very intense with his intentions and with his intrigue and interest into her. And I think that like level of masculinity and him being so forward worked for me, because at the beginning of this book, he's really contemplating his life and what he needs to do to reclaim his joy. And I think that adds a layer of depth, and it just telegraphs that like this is a hero that can see beyond surface level, that can see beyond just the physical needs and the steam between them. And so I think that his bold masculinity is a godsend for Heaven, because her ex and his fiance are hell-bent on making her vacation about them. And she needs a freaking savior like Axel. Okay? I mean, again, her friends are hilarious. He's already won them over. And it's just, so, like, nice to read Axel revel in all of the things that her ex failed to celebrate and see. And she gets to enjoy this hunk of a man that's extremely successful and rub it in her ex's face. It is so gratifying, especially after finding out how they wronged her. Oh my gosh. So I am loving this. It's giving me everything that I need. It's the perfect thing that I want to be reading. The resort freaking like setting and the sort of like timid, at least on her part, in terms of like letting go and like letting Axel like in and allowing herself to just take this moment. I love it. And like I said, it's perfect. It's set in Hawaii. which I will be on my way to at like 7 o'clock in the morning. So I need to like push through this so I can get this vlog out. So I'll be back when I have a wrap up thought. I'm just going to wrap it up. I'll be back when I'm done. I really liked how the fake dating continues after vacation. I was not expecting that. I also found these two to be insatiable when it came to this theme, and I love the way in which they mess their lives together, how they become each other's freaking heir. And it did take a really twisty turn in terms of heavier themes. This was almost like soap opera-esque. I mean, it is drama filled. There are external conflicts around every single corner. If it's not one thing, it's another. But the external conflicts have to do with them as individuals, not about them as a couple. In the third act, there's one internal conflict that really threatens their connection, but it's short-lived. And I love how what was established between them is honored by not dragging that out. I will say, in terms of the heavier themes, that there is a trigger warning for attempted SA, not between the hero and the heroine, but it definitely goes there. I felt like it was a huge tonal shift. But then again, like I said, soap opera. I mean, it was drama filled. And I just had such a good time reading this. Like, I loved this. It's a page turner. I didn't really have to put much effort into finishing it. And so I'm rating this a 4.5. It's exactly what I was looking for. It's exactly what I needed. And I think it's like the second in the series. I might go back, and I'm sad too, because her best friend, it seemed like her book was being set up, and I really want that. So I'm gonna have to ask Heather more about it. But I'm gonna wrap this vlog up here. I'm literally gonna like throw this in and edit this together and try to get this out so it's on my channel while I'm flying to Hawaii. I will see you soon. I want to thank you for joining me. Please consider subscribing, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.